Warning, Prospect Watch is not your average hockey podcast, and that's okay with us. Our goal is to introduce you to stars in the making from all over the world. They may not be household names yet, but we assure you they will be soon enough. Welcome to Prospect Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of Prospect Watch with your host, Lance Green.
All right, guys, welcome to Prospect Watch. As you know, a podcast that focuses solely on the discovery and promotion of some of the best young talent in the game today from all regions of the world. I'm your host, like Steel said, Lance Green, and of course, joining me is Steel. Steel, how are you?
Oh man, I'm doing great, buddy. We got a special golden guest tonight, don't we?
We definitely do. We definitely do. This week's guest is none other than Malcolm Spence from the OHL's Erie Otters. Malcolm, how are you? And thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Good, guys. Happy we could get this going. So happy to be on.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, for those of you that aren't familiar with Malcolm, you must have been sleeping under a rock or something, but let me fill you in. Malcolm, let's say his if your favorite team selects this guy in this upcoming draft, let me just say this summer you're in for a treat because Malcolm was taken second overall by the Otters in the 2022 OHL Priority Selection Draft. He is 6'2" and I believe up to 201 pounds right now. He's a winger with great speed, size, and strength that helped him tally 19 goals and 43 assists last season for 62 points in only 66 games played in his draft -1 season. But that's not all. This Mississauga native was able to achieve last year. While proudly being called upon to don his country's colors last season, Spencer grew a fondness for gold, as he was able to bring home gold medals at both the Hlinka Gretzky Cup and the U18 World Junior Championships. That's why with all these accolades already under his belt, it should come as no surprise when I tell you that Malcolm is already being regarded as one of this year's top draft picks. So, with that being said, Steel, what do you say we get to asking this young man some questions?
Oh boy, I'm ready to go. Malcolm, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, guys.
All right, here we go. Malcolm, you just heard a lot of great attributes that Lance was talking to you about. Is there any particular NHL player maybe that inspires you to play this game, and maybe why?
No, honestly, I don't think there's one specific guy that I like to just model my game around because I think there's so many good players in the NHL that we're so privileged to watch on a nightly basis. So why wouldn't you just try to take things from all of them? So I just really enjoy watching the game and looking at what these players can do every day. The game's getting better every year. So I really enjoy watching a bunch of players throughout the league. So.
Wow, well, there you go. Okay, well, one quick little follow-up question. What's the inspiration behind your number?
My my grandpa and my uncle on my mom's side, they both played hockey. My uncle played at D1 at Niagara University, Northern Michigan University, and my grandpa played at Colgate University. They both wore 17 and 27 growing up. So, and my uncle was probably he was the guy who kind of got me to start skating. Him and my late grandfather that played at Colgate. So, he was the one who kind of instilled in me, you're going to wear 17. So, that's what I kind of done just for the rest of my life is just always worn 17 any chance I've got to.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, take us back to when you were taken by the Otters. What were your first thoughts or feelings when you arrived in Erie for the first time? The fans, the rink, the facility, you name it, the coaching staff?
I just thought it was really cool that that you're in an American city in an Ontario league. I think that's makes it really special. And obviously Erie had like some crazy players coming out of there, right? So They're the best player in the world. So when you think of that, it's just pure excitement that obviously they know what they're doing over there because they've had some success. Obviously, we really want to emulate that, and yeah, and the players they've had come out of there are some special players. So for me, it's just excitement, especially from management down. I was very happy with kind of the interviews I had with them and the run-ins I had with them. They were great. So it was just excitement.
Congratulations, Malcolm, on being named alternate captain as you embark on your third season here with the Otters, and obviously with the A on your sweater. Can you let us know what that means to you?
Yeah, obviously I was pretty happy when I found out that I was gonna wear a letter again this year. I wore one last year, and I think our team took some big strides, and I think credit to the coaching staff. Obviously, I think our leadership group was great. But I just want to put out that there's a lot of unsung heroes on our team, and there's a lot of guys that could have worn the letters. You could have picked guys around the room to do that. Obviously, I think the 4 guys that get chosen, Carey with the C, obviously, and Pano, myself, and Shafe. I think we're pretty privileged to wear it on our jerseys every night, but there's a lot of guys that could have worn it. We have a great group, and we're really tight, and we hold each other accountable. So, but obviously, just pretty happy that I got the chance to wear one again this year.
All right, there you go, man. Congrats, bro.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you and Matthew Schaefer were taken by Erie, you were obviously in a little bit of a rebuild, but you guys were able to take them to the playoffs last season. So can you tell us and the fans back at Erie, what have you been working on this summer to kind of get to that next level in your game and carry the team to the next level as well?
Obviously, I think every hockey player's stereotypical answer is just get bigger, faster, stronger. So I think you follow those guidelines, obviously, but I think just letting your play mature. I think as you grow older and you play, especially in the OHL, especially for my first season, there's a lot of jitters where the puck's just hopping over the stick. You're just really excited because you're new to the league. And I think my third year now, and Shade's the second, and I felt the same way last year. It's just you calm down a bit more, like you understand what's there and what's not there for making plays, and it's going to be the same as the next level when we both jump to pro at some point in time. And I think for me, it's just understanding what's there, what's not there, and then emulating it into the summer to know that, okay, like this is the things that in a game I need to work on because I know they're going to be there quite a bit next year. So I think for me, that's pretty much most of it. But yeah, every stereotypical hockey player answer, because it's the truth. You want to get faster, stronger, get your cardio up. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, there you go. So, in a long time ago, in a previous lifetime, I used to be a professional chef, and I love to ask all the guys that we talk to, do you have a preferred pregame meal? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty basic. Just chicken and rice. I'm not really reinventing the wheel. I'm pretty plain on it. I think the thing that I do the most is I'll probably throw some hot sauce on it, or maybe have some like Chick-fil-A sauce with it. But
okay. See, we've heard that before.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A sauce on there.
Yeah, my old teammate Malcolm Spence, we lived together in Erie for a couple times, and same as George Alba. The three of us would go, and we'd go downstairs and eat. And I remember the first time they're like, yeah, I was just cutting up the chicken, and they're like, you gotta throw something on there. Like, okay. I looked over at the other two; they're both drenched in Chick-fil-A sauce. So I was like, might as well join the troop. So yeah, so I think that's kind of my pregame meal there.
There you go. All right. At least you're following in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've heard that quite a few times from a couple other guys.
Exactly.
Huh. Okay. Well, now clearly we both think your future is bright in this sport, but can you tell us today, what is your fondest memory so far playing in your career?
I think I've had a few.
I would think so.
I would think, yeah.
stick. I think any chance when you get a really big win, that's huge. I think a couple of the big ones were those two world championship wins. Those were amazing. I think for me personally, I think the one this past summer at Worlds was bigger because at Hlinka, it's a good tournament. Don't get me wrong. There's Czech, there's Slovaks, there's great teams. The Euro teams are great, but the U.S. doesn't send their one team. They don't pick from the NTDP. So then to go back to Worlds in this past summer, obviously it was a sucky feeling because your season's like done and you're kind of ready. You're like, okay, like now you got to take some time off, whatever. And then you get the call shortly after saying, hey, we want you to come play for your country. It's bittersweet because you're like, I wish I was still playing like in playoffs, but then you get to go represent your country. So it works out. And then we went over there and we were lucky that we had a lot of guys that were out of the first round. So we had and guys that didn't make playoffs. So we had a great team. So and then we were able to come out and win the championship and prove that Canada's the best. So I think to me that was the biggest one because all those countries send their big dogs. So and we proved to them that we can stand with anyone. So I think that was probably the one so far.
Okay.
Oh wow, man, for sure. That's got to be some fond memories, and you know when guys like you get to the level of play and you're considered to be pretty good athletes, and therefore could or sometimes do excel at other or at multiple sports. So if you weren't playing hockey, what might we find you doing?
Probably basketball. Growing up in Canada, I feel like when I was younger, it's been popular, but especially since the Raptors won, and they have that team that it's just kind of taken the next level. Like it's huge over there now. So especially in Toronto. So I think probably that. And as I've grown older and I came to the States, I watched football when I was younger. Usually watch Super Bowl, and then on Sundays usually just have it on in the background, like just as background music going on if when hanging out with the family. But it's huge here. I think as I've grown and watched it more here, I'm a huge Bills fan now, and I think I'd probably, if I wasn't playing hockey, maybe take a swing at that as well. And I think any hockey player would say they'd probably want to be a golfer as well. So any of those three to me would be great. So yeah.
There you go.
All right. Okay. So to me, you're kind of uncategorizable in the sense that if someone were to just look at you and see your size and strength, they would say power forward, right? But, I think you surprise a lot of people, especially other teams, with your speed and scoring ability, which I would say would be more on par with a more skill forward. But last year, you added another feather to your cap, if you will, by becoming way more defensively sound. So can you kind of tell us, was that kind of a natural thing as you got older and wiser, or is that something you definitely worked on to get it to happen?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, and especially when I played in Burlington, I was definitely, like you said, more of like a power forward. I was around the same height, and then I'd say in Pee Wee, I grew quite a bit bigger than a lot of guys. So I kind of could just bully my way through to the net a lot. So I think that kind of instilled in me when I was younger. And then as I got older, I moved to playing for the Sens for Chris Stevenson, Chris Phillips, and Nick Shareski. And when I got there, it was kind of realizing how fast I kind of was and using my speed and those advantages that I could and generating off the rush and getting those chances. And then as I got to, I think I want to say to the O, and we had BJ Adams, who was great. And then we had Stan Butler came in, and Wes Wolf was our D coach, and he got moved to forward coach. We had Vince Lace, he was good for us too, and then Ken Peroff came in. I think though this coaching staff that I've had this past couple of years have really helped me defensively with my just awareness and positioning wise where you have to be. So it's really helped me because, example, when I go over to those tournaments in Europe and play in those Worlds tournaments, I find that like I can understand what's going to happen with the play and create opportunities off 5-on-5 play, which is huge because I think you can get a lot of special teams points. Like I think a lot of guys get a lot of points there, but if you're creating just off of playing smart defensively, that's a huge difference maker. So, and it helps the team win if you're playing well defensively. So, I think that really instilled my two-way game, especially when those three guys kind of came in.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
for
Lance,
sure.
so hockey IQ is shining through here, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's saying all the right things, right? I mean, these, these NHL scouts are gonna like these answers, I
I'm
think,
here to tell
one
you.
day soon.
I'm sure some of the GMs are gonna too. You know what I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
right? So now we've heard about what it was like for you to don your country sweater, but tell me, Malcolm, what was it like, man, when they hung that gold medal around your neck? What did that make you feel like?
Yeah, it was surreal. I think you just like, especially watching both like Hlinka and Worlds, I think those are two moments. I remember the summer before I was watching Hlinka, watching the '05s win. So um, that was pretty cool for me. I knew obviously a couple guys in that team. Um, and seeing them kind of do that, it's kind of real. Like, okay, you're getting older, you're able to do these possibilities. So, and then for Worlds, like I just remember in COVID when nothing was going on, they
Yeah.
had that awesome team with Shane Wright, Bedard, Gunther, Othman, like the names off the chart, Del Mastro, like they
Yep.
were
Yep.
unreal. So they had that team that won, and which is a cool tournament because obviously COVID, the world was shut down, so they're privileged to having a lot of those guys. Like I don't think like Pinelli would have been there, like a couple other guys because of their teams are probably pretty good, and like Shane Wright and whatever. So I think for me it was pretty cool to go to that tournament, and it's obviously on TSN, the whole world's watching. So and then to go into winning, especially against the Americans. So that was crazy. Just when you had the gold around your your neck, and then you look over at them and they had the silver. It's just like it was a great one. It was a great moment. So
There you go.
mhm.
There you go, man. All good, buddy. All good.
Right. All right. So my last question, but I think it's an important one for you. With your dad being from Jamaica, you obviously have had to deal with some of the struggles that come with being a minority in the sport. And in the past, I know you have worked with guys like Anthony Stewart and, of course, one of my all-time favorite hockey players, Wayne Simmons, on things like the group hockey equality. So can you speak on those efforts and what it means to you to have, kind of the youth of hockey today and your ethnicity now looking to you as a role model and someone they aspire to be?
Yeah. I think a couple big things for me was obviously meeting Wayne Simmons. That was really cool just for like your mental well-being, is talking to a guy and talking about his struggles and what he kind of went through, and see his perspective on things and how he overcome all that. So talking to him was really cool. And then I'm lucky to play with Ty Henry as well, who's been very involved in hockey equality, and it's nice to kind of have him to go through stuff with, and to be there together. We've known each other our whole lives, so it's nice to be on the same team for once too, and talk about things like that, because we went to that when we were, I think, 15, 14, when at the hockey equality event for the first time, and it was after COVID, so. And we played spring hockey against each other. Our dads knew each other pretty well, so it was cool for that to have him there as well. And then Shante and Stewie have been amazing to us, obviously giving us every opportunity they can, to put us in the right situation. And like you said, it's for the youth, right? There's a lot of kids that parents probably are like, I don't really want my kid to play this sport because of things that have happened. And obviously kids gonna have struggles, but the game's changing. So guys like Akil Thomas, who I've had the privilege to be around a few times in this past year, and usually get to pick his brain quite a bit, and talk to him. So and Byfield, he's a huge one as well that I've just kind of paved the way. It makes it easier for guys like me and Ty, and then it makes it easier for us to do our job as well, and do it for the younger generation that's coming up. So I'm really happy that I've been a part of Hockey Equality, and it's all credit to Stewie and Shantae for setting the whole thing up. So
For sure, man. That's really awesome, and we love to see the spreading of the sport. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Exactly. So my last question for you, Malcolm, is this, and I think it ties into exactly with what you just were talking about, and that's this: what would you tell the next generation of guys coming up behind you that want to be in the spot where you are?
I'd say obviously you can't achieve anything without hard work. Obviously, that goes on saying right there, but I think one of the biggest things I'd say is that things take time. You're not gonna miraculously wake up one day and score 50 goals the next. It's not. That's just not how the way of life works. Just because you work on something one day, it doesn't mean that like forever you're gonna have it. So for me, I think it's just continuously chip away. Guys develop at different rates. You see it all the time. Guys grow when they get older. Some guys grow when they're younger. Like it all depends like on who you are and how your body is and whatnot. So I think for me that would be it. It's just continuously chip away at things. Things take time. And yeah, I think that's what I'd say.
Awesome. Man, I'll tell you what, Lance, I can't wait to see what's going to happen this coming spring with the team that is going to select this young man. Oh my gosh, what a catch they're going to get.
For sure. I mean, he's only a couple of games into this season at the current time, and he's already a point per game player right now. So,
I mean, bada bing.
Can't say enough good things about this young man. And, I wish you the best, sir. I appreciate you jumping on with us, and look forward to watching you the rest of this season for sure.
Thanks for having me, Lance and Steel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You got it for sure. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in here. For Lance Green and for Ron SteelFlyers, this is Prospect Watch, and we will catch you all on the next one.